Bob Joyce, Elvis Presley, Bob Joyce. I promised earlier this morning when I was doing a little breakfast time that I was going to talk more about some specifics related to why, as a musician, do I see connections related to Bob Joyce and Elvis Presley. And I'm trying to get Cassie, my dog, to go outside with me. So before I plan to do a longer, more organized video to cover some of this, but with the election going on and lots of other projects, I wanted to at least make good on my promise and still talk about some of this stuff today. So, as I give my doggy a little happiness and break outside, I thought I would talk about Bob Joyce, Elvis Presley, Bob Joyce, Elvis Presley. Make sure you know what the topic's about. Okay, so let's talk some musical coincidences, a little bit more than coincidence. So specific musical things that I've noticed as a civilian musician, professional musician, military musician, you name it. Let's start with the piano. We can just go around some different instruments, but you'll notice in some of the videos I've shared too, where Pastor Bob will do what we call an arpeggio going up the piano, and it's kind of just for an effect, but it's also like a piano lick, you could call it. It stylistically matches gospel music, the kind of stuff that Elvis did or his piano players did. And so without me even knowing necessarily how much Elvis played piano and all that stuff, we do have videos of Elvis playing the piano and doing the exact same arpeggiated lick on the piano. And might I say, kind of sloppily, actually. But Elvis was never a master piano player anyway, right? So it's kind of the combination. Now we're just talking piano right now. We're talking the combination of him accurately repeating what Elvis did on the piano from a pianist's perspective. I am a piano player. I have been since I was tiny, like 2, 3, 4, 5. So I've been playing piano all my life, and I've taught piano players. I've been a music teacher. I've been a music director, including in the Marine Corps. So I know how to look for these things, okay? And I'm saying that it's very much a match to what Elvis did. And it's not something that would really change at all over the years. So I see that. Okay, so that's Happy Doggy standing by. That's just one topic there, piano. Now, when we move on to guitar, so we're talking about basically the acoustic guitar. Anytime we've seen him strum, play, and sing, right? Same thing. There's every guitar player learns certain chords, certain strumming techniques, right? With their hand strumming the strings on the guitar. And those are kind of things that a musician develops and sort of has in their tool belt over the years. And so those are indicative of the style, the music, the person, and really pretty unique things. And that's why different musicians sound unique, is because they have basically this set of tools that they've developed over the years that they can go in the toolbox and grab that lick or that chord, that strum, whatever it is. And so again, if Elvis was older and still playing, singing on the guitar with the guitar, there's no reason why we would see any big change of selection of chords, strumming styles, things like that. And what do I see? Once again, very similar. It's all the same kind of stuff I'm seeing. By the way, we got some helos flying over. I don't know if you can see that. Okay, so that's the guitar. So me as a musician, I'm checking the boxes. Piano playing style, very similar. And just everything he's doing, guitar playing style, chord selection, execution of the techniques, very similar. And those are things that really do not change over the years. In fact, if anything, most people kind of get ingrained in them and they stay the same. So, yet again and again, just reinforcing a very likely possibility that Bob Joyce is Elvis Presley. Okay, quick stop for comments. Hey, Irma. Hello, Eileen. Says it's Elvis for sure. Irma, you're the best musician. Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, and then where do I go from here? I'm trying to make this as quick as possible and condensed. Okay, so on the vocal side, another very unique thing about singers is everybody has a range, right? And Elvis always had this talent and skill of having a very deep voice, being able to go pretty low, but that baritone to tenor sort of range, being able to hit some pretty high notes too, and belt them out, hold them out. And even if you said Pastor Bob was in his late 70s or something like that, he has the range, and that is impressive for an older man. So, but when we connect it back into the puzzle of possibilities, again, the vibrato is matching, the tone, oh my. I mean, I've checked out plenty of Elvis impersonators. These are people who actually do it for a living, right? And as a very finicky, picking them apart musician sort of way, because musicians pick each other apart. We're the worst judges of ourselves too. I am not really impressed by most Elvis impersonators. Great singers, usually, yeah. But to match the tone of Elvis so well that to me it's believable, you better be one heck of a good Elvis impersonator, because I am going to pick up on the nuances of your pronunciation of words, even millisecond changes in the tempo of the lyrics and how you how the tone, which is like the vowel sound, the warmness or brightness of the words. And also, as an audio engineer, I have even more experience on noticing those tiny nuances that most people will not pick up on. And what did I hear with Pastor Bob's new album in August called Safely Home? I was hearing the same nuances of Elvis as an older man. Same vibrato and just totally believable. So, okay, so I talked about his piano performance, guitar performance, his vocal ability and performance, being like the execution of doing all those things. And then let's factor in one more thing. Let's factor in, which also ties into being a musician, his stage presence and performance and confidence. Because again, those are things that are eerily similar to Elvis, and he does it so well. He does it like a man that's been doing it his whole life, or even took a break for a long time, but had become a master of it, and then essentially returned to the small stage, which, as you all know, by the day is becoming a bigger stage, a world stage. So those are things you cannot fake as a musician. If I felt like if he was having any sort of self-doubt, or he's just kind of fine-tuning these skills, and even trying to fake the Elvis sound, I would pick up on it in a heartbeat. And I would not be many months into this still watching him, still wondering, hey, this really could be the guy. And so the performance aspect alone too, just which is kind of like the whole picture, what he looks and sounds like and how he presents the music, uh, these are all from a musician's perspective, uh, things that only musicians would really pick up on. And so anybody who says he doesn't sound like Elvis, wrong. Or anybody who says he doesn't look anything like him, that's another subject, but I would also say big wrong, because we have plenty of videos that compare how close the facial features are. And he was rich anyway, so who's to say he didn't have some plastic surgery done? So, okay, so to finish off the music topic, then I think the last thing I wanted to say is one of the main reasons why I'm not for it being a twin or a son or a brother or something like that is because, again, as a musician, it takes decades. It takes time to build up your repertoire, confidence, those skills as a musician. Nobody is just born and, they're just Elvis skills, right? Including Elvis himself. And so, without me even trying to dig into videos of him at, you know 12 or 16 or something, it takes time to really build up that confidence and the different instruments and the singing and all those skills and the whole package. So where I'm going with this is that you're not going to have some brother, twin, or whoever who just kind of pops out of nowhere and all of a sudden he's got all the same skills as Elvis and all the charisma and everything. Even a twin, that is such a low percentage of possibility of that happening from, again, just the musician's perspective, that I rule it out unless a whole lot more information comes to light. I do not see any other possibility than Bob Joyce being Elvis and him being the only possibility in this scenario. So I could break down the music side even more than that if I really took the time, but with this being election day and I already have so many other projects going on, I just wanted to be good or make good on the promise I made this morning to do this video. And Cassie is loving the time outside too. So before I get back to work, I'll just catch up on what you guys are saying. Hey, Stephanie. Sorry, I'm late getting back to you. Do you remember the picture of the man walking to Vernon's house several years ago during Elvis week? It was a back view. He told me that was him. I don't think I've seen that one. Maybe you can comment it over to me later or share it. Stephanie said, we all know that looked like Bob from the back. Elvis impersonator, you're saying, Scott? You think he's an impersonator? I don't know that he's ever impersonated Elvis, except for, if you want to call it impersonating, it's just like karaoke, singing some of his songs. But that's not impersonating. That's just like you and I could do that too at home or at a bar or something. So I haven't seen any evidence of him actually being an Elvis impersonator. God is one, said Jesus is Lord. Amen. He has all of Elvis' scars. Yeah, exactly. His wife was Elvis' girlfriend. Yeah, I mean, that seems like a match. I just posted a video earlier with that. And she sure looks like a match to me. Irma, you're welcome. His teeth are all the same except the front two. Yeah, I mean, the teeth look like a match to me. When you get older, whatever, you can have dental surgery, right? And you can correct some things. But it seems like what I saw in a couple comparisons that most of the teeth seem to be pretty darn aligned. So that's another thing that there's just too many coincidences. God is one said Orion equals 35. It's a mysterious one for me. Bob has the same veins in his hands. I don't know if I've looked at that closely yet. Same stroll. Yeah, the one leg shorter than the other. Like, seems awfully similar. Same clap. I haven't noticed that. Sounds like Elvis. Love his music. Yeah, God is one. Same ears. Yeah, I mean, on the Bob Joyce Elvis Presley playlist on this channel, which is soaring over 200 videos already. Can't believe it. There's got to be a good handful of comparison videos in there and all kinds of videos. But if you just go through those comparison videos, I think you're going to see enough to at least be like, wow, how is this possible if it's not him? Just like with the same kind of wrinkles or scars on the face. I mean, if you have one or two, okay. But when you start having like, I don't know, 10, 15 different markings that match, that's kind of like, come on. So anyhow, the point of this video was to just point out some of the musical commonalities from a musician's perspective. And I think I nailed that pretty well, frankly, if I ask myself, and I will. And I appreciate you all hanging out, stopping by. Happy election day. It's looking like a pretty red turnout so far and a pretty low blue turnout from everything I'm seeing so far. I'm probably going to do some more live streaming or something later on, maybe. Might wait till a little bit later when the numbers are kind of getting, I don't know, kind of once everything's kind of boiling down to a finishing point, perhaps. And we'll see how all that goes and how that aligns with my previous predictions. But thanks for joining me. I will keep you all posted the best I can. Maybe do some more videos like this, since there seems to be a lot of interest and just everybody knowing why we believe what we do believe about Pastor Bob and the Elvis theories. So I'll try to keep those coming. But I'm going to get back to work now, and I hope you have a great rest of the day, night, and I will be seeing you all again soon. Thanks. Thanks, Irma. Thanks, everybody.